right? You are under the control of two animal brains within you. You know, this is 2013, kind of like 6,000 years of civilized history. And you might say, well, gee, you know, we haven't come too far in this understanding. But the thing is that the knowledge is known a long time ago, was coded, was put in the code for only a few people to know. This reptile, this reptile within you, this brain is a reptile. You understand what I'm talking about? The reptile is not a whole animal, it's the brain, the command center. That's what makes the reptile the reptile. You know what I'm saying? What makes the mammal is the limbic system, the limbic brain. Clear to you? Not the entire thing. You see that? We have teeth, eyes, ears, legs, arms, just like all little creatures, right? But our brain makes the entire difference, isn't it? So what makes these creatures what they are is the brain. So you have a reptile and a beast within you. This reptile within you was coded in the Bible as the serpent of Eden. It's going to get heavy now. And the beast is the beast of Babylon. Okay? All right? And those four emotions are the four horsemen of the apocalypse and Ezekiel's vision. But that was about 600 BC. 1,000 years before the Bible was written, the Egyptians said the same thing in their scriptures. You see that? And all the creatures speak about these animalistic, you know, functions within you. You see that? The devil in medieval European, you know, iconography is presented as a man with the head of a goat, meaning an animalistic man, meaning the animal brains within man. That's the devil. There's not a creature out there. The devil is sitting right on your shoulders. The Garden of Eden is right inside here with the reptile. Sitting next to you. I don't know, you think of the Adam or Eve. Okay? That reptile from the old serpent from the Bible is within you. Okay? I'm talking to you. Okay, now. In other words, if you do things driven by sensuality or, you know, sensuality and emotion are not guides to truth. They're not guides to doing the right thing. So that's the devil, that's the human, that's the problem. Okay? But then it reacts with anger, fear, war, and all of these emotional reactions are states of illness. It's not psychosomatic, it's not, they are states of illness in themselves. This cap over here is called the cerebral cortex. And this front here is called the frontal lobe, right, in the forehead, right? The cerebral cortex, right, covers the limbic system, and it is the part of the brain through which you process symbolism, reasoning and thinking and things of that nature. You see that, okay? And the frontal lobe, you know, this forehead here, that part of the brain, you know, enables you to empathize, to process information of a higher spiritual nature, ethical things, you know, to forgive, and things of that nature. Is that clear to you? Okay? So what happens is that, you know, if society that you live in is right, has the right understanding, the information programmed in the cerebrum, the intellectual brain, will control the two animals within you. But if the society programs the wrong kind of information into your cerebrum, then now the animal will hijack the cerebrum to its own use. So that's how you become human. You see that? So you begin to rationalize why you're emotional. I'm upset because of what you did. I'm stressed out because, you know, we ain't got no money. You see, you are not rational. The cerebrum, okay, is, which is giving you the means of solving your problems, is being hijacked by the animal. Let me speak to you about the animal brain. The animal brains within you, okay, was designed to give listen carefully, please, right? As well as next slide, right? Okay. They prepare the physical body, mind, and sight for a physical response to a physical threat or demand. That's what the animal brains are with you for, to give a physical response. When you are experiencing an emotion, fear, anger, worry, grief, or whatever you call it, stress, that's because the two lower brains within you and other structures like the hypothalamus and the pituitary and the adrenal glands, and it was just as simple that the brain is also really the neurohormonal system that we talk a little bit about, right? What's going to happen is that these brains are preparing you for a physical response to a physical challenge or demand. You see that? Let's take your time with that. When you're experiencing fear, anger, whatever you call it, stress, that's because a part of you that was designed to only give a physical response to physical demand or threat is now responding to a non-physical challenge. You see that? If I am challenged by a loss of a job, it doesn't require a physical response. I gotta think now. Right? I gotta think my way out of that situation. But if I am angry or afraid, I am now experiencing a part of my being that was designed to give a physical response to a physical challenge, trying to intercede in a non-physical challenge. It's out of place. You with me? Next slide, please. So what happens is that, this animal brain, the beast and the reptile within me, when they respond to physical challenge, and the tiger wants to eat the rabbit got away, the rabbit had this animal brain response and got away. It's safe now. It's a balancing reaction. You see that? Okay? But what happened is that with people, okay, your marriage is not going too good. Hasn't been going good for many years. So every day you have this physical response, a physical challenge to a non-physical challenge. That's not being balanced by a countering system. So that's what stress is. So that's what takes you out. Next slide, please. Okay? So what happens, what scientists have discovered is that, if day in and day out, you are experiencing anger, fear, worry, meaning, a controlling response from the two lower animal brains. You see that? It will damage your higher brain. You ever turn the radio on and hear the craziest news? People doing the most stupid things, and getting caught. Knowing that they're going to get caught. I was in the news the other day, this 50-year-old man told a young girl he paid $50 for sex. Did you hear the news? No, he didn't know he was going to get caught. He was a teacher. No, why did he do that? I mean, that's typical behavior. Lots of people, they do stupid things that's going to land them in jail for the next 10, 20 years of all their life. Why? Because it's when you indulge day after day those emotions, the animal brain within you, the heightened energy response we call anger. It's like sending 200 volts into a system that's designed to handle 100. Or when you're depressed and sad, you know, it's like sending 60 volts when 100 is needed. It's a drop in energy, the system doesn't function well, it becomes sick eventually. You know what I'm saying? Your IQ drops, your frontal lobe doesn't get enough, you know, energy, your cerebral doesn't get enough energy, it's get damaged by the animal brain. This was discovered by the Russian school. They wired people up and studied them and realized that, you know, every time somebody was angry and upset, they'll get a spike of energy damaging that higher brain from lower brain, or a drop in energy damaging that brain, lowering the IQ and so forth. Just not that you are, you know, it's like you were lobotomizing yourself. All right? If you indulge anger and fear, you might get a hand and hit yourself in the head. Right? I want you to understand that. Okay? You go to school, they teach you about the brain, but they don't teach you what the brain has to do with your behavior, your health. The information is there. Learn it. It's your health, it's your life. Next slide, please. Now, the brain is just not simply, you know, cerebrum and cerebellum and midbrain, and it's also some hormonal, you know, structures inside there. And the hypothalamus, okay, is a part of the brain that plays a major role in how you respond to stress or to a challenge and recover from that challenge. You with me? Okay? Now, when you experience a challenge, real or imagined, because most people's challenges are imagined, it's your attitude, it's your interpretation, the wrong interpretation of what's going on in life. That's why you've been trying to talk people out. Come on, listen, what are you talking about? You're trying to always cancel people, right? Okay? And you can see what their problem is until you have the same problem and you can't see it in the back. Okay, all right, let's move on. So the thing is that when you have a challenge in the posterior hypothalamus, the back has a posterior and anterior, a back and a front. The hypothalamus now, you know, secretes, you know, a corticotropin releasing factor. Okay? Meaning it sends a hormone that tells the pituitary to release, you know, corticotropin, right? Okay? And that hormone from the pituitary goes down to the adrenal glands, which sits on top of your kidneys, right? And the adrenal gland then releases a whole bunch of, you know, steroids, corticosteroids. Adrenal and, you know, corticosteroids, one of them, you know, cortisol, which prepares the body now for a physical reaction. You know? And you see, this is, you got to understand that the reaction in people to stress is kind of like a leftover from the animal evolution. We don't need it. Nobody's ever been helped by anger or fear or worry or grief. It hurts you, destroys your health, destroys your thinking, destroys your performance. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay? What is released? Can I have the one verbal principle again, please? Here? This thinking cortisol, that's the bad boy. Okay? When you are experiencing anger, fear, worry, grief, lust, or whatever, there's a cascade that starts from the hypothalamus down the chain and causes the adrenal gland to release this bad boy here. Next slide, right? Okay, when you have too much cortisol in your system, okay, and you're going to have too much cortisol if you spend your day upset about a number of things. If some people are always upset about something,